Hello there, Seraphim17 once again. This is my Shadow of the Tomb Raider Deadly Obsession difficulty video walkthrough. This is going to be the sequence of the game that covers the Last Emperor and Downpour sequences. I'd love to tell you that you can relax, guys, but we now have a 34-minute video with a very distant campfire. However, this one is not as bad as the last one, and I wouldn't say the last one was particularly bad either, but it is a large period of time to play if you're not used to doing it. The only tough section, once again, in this coming sequence is the platforming betraying you, and then there is a fight against a bunch of the cultists, which can be quite intimidating, but it's very simple. And then after that, the only real threat, other than screen tearing, terrible frame rate, atrocious loading, and incessant unskippable nonsense, is going to be a combat sequence at the end using stealth. Because you do all of the mission, you do all of the bits that you were probably quite not looking forward to, and then you have to do a couple of fights at the end, and if you mess them up, it's a big reset. But I did all of this on one attempt, guys, so that should give you the ultimate confidence that you can do the same, because I'm not the best Tomb Raider player in the world. I've only played this game twice, and you hopefully have come New Game Plus, all your equipment, you're going to be an absolute killer, an absolute phenom, and you're going to stomp it. So I will speak to you when we get to the fighting.
Beautiful.
You're here during a visit.
How are things?
Look what I have for you. You have made an excellent choice, my friend. I am certain you will find it useful. I'm always ready to trade.
How do you do?
How may I help you? The gods favor us both. Come back soon.
Lara, if you can hear me,
I'm here.
we're not at Unuratu's. We're in a cave nearby. The entrance is marked with a heron and an eclipse.
On my way.
Maybe they could provide support.
Have more rebels been captured?
Ishiki.
I'll see what I can do.
Uchu and I were talking, and, well,
Uchu, what's on your mind?
Vale, hincate. Willy.
Yan kuntul makwaye.
All these fallen soldiers, far more rebels than cultists.
Hachevanu chikin topikonov. Chenjumpel batelilo chhel beshunaje.
Beishan intugul. Minano Nukolov, Malov, Yetel Mishutskan Sanilobi, Tokili Uhetz, Tantike.
Bailey kun uchulo. Hachwahel binton mutzil waminan kukulkantik wignalone.
This describes something nearby. They stand back to back, two brothers in arms. I lie at the feet of the one who watches the shaded serpent.
Lara, your serpent guard disguise is good. I discovered the passphrase for the prison where they're holding my mother. Innocent eyes will blink at dawn, when weakness falls away.
Understood. We'll get her out, Etzli.
There's one more thing. Hakan has been captured. He's my friend Kiara's dad. If he is sacrificed,
I'll see what I can do.
Only the exalted and knowing may enter this sacred ground.
Innocent eyes will blink at dawn when weakness falls away.
You may enter.
I should have done
going to maintain this charade of rebellion.
Until we succeed.
Amaro, remember who you are.
I am one of you.
Yeah. Is that why you had me arrested?
If my brother was alive, rest his soul.
Yeah, he will think this bickering is a way.
Jonah, I know where she is. I'm going in.
Okay, we're on our way. Did you feel the tremor before?
Yeah, when I was in the cenote. It was a foreshock. The earthquake is coming soon. We have to hurry.
Yeah. When we get Unuratu out, we'll all go find the box together.
Oh, and a quick word of warning coming up, guys. There is one jump in particular here that fucked me 4 times. 4 times I had to do the entire thing of what you've just watched again. Not happy, to say the least. But it is the game being finicky. It might not necessarily be you, so you don't want to take it too personally. And it's the jump coming up here. So as you move to the left, when you get to the edge and Lara leans, do not throw your axe immediately. Jump, wait, and she should grab that. If she doesn't grab that ledge, wait a little bit longer, then throw your axe and you will catch the next section instead. For some reason, the ledge that she grabbed then, she refused to grab it repeatedly, and I don't know why. I hope you have no problems here and never remember this section, because I wish I'd have had the same and I didn't. So if you have problems there, I know exactly how you feel. If you don't, awesome, keep pushing forward.
Tinwaliktech, Jambach Timbuya, Tutsi.
Kabetin Lixikimbao, Rayaku Yatal, Ulag Pateli Luhaj.
Nikes Makimama Tats.
Magachi. Malo, Ishi Kakinik Telo,
Beishaiten.
Just crossed the river, almost at the prison. There are guards everywhere.
We're heading towards the river. Get back to you when we're there.
Okay.
How is Edsley?
Safe. He helped me find you. He should be with Uchu now. Jonah, I'm with Unuratu.
Oh, good. Edsley wants to talk to her.
Mother.
Bash de Helo, Telo, Ichi Lechi Wobo, Shenawilech, Tus.
Let's go.
Tilapar.
I think that's the last of them. You lead. I think we're clear.
Let's go.
The Crimson Fire.
It is my destiny. It's connected to the sacrifice of Kukulkan. When the Crimson Fire smokes, seek your mirror. It's a powerful force of accountability. That's all I know.
Do any of those creatures ever find their way in here?
Creatures?
They attack. In the caverns around Paititi, they were in conflict with Trinity. And at the altar where the box was taken, they came after me.
Do you mean the Yashil?
Yashil. They were tall and fast, hungry, almost desperate.
I would not call them creatures. They're more than that. The key I gave you should work here.
What happened to the Yashil?
There are many legends. It was long ago, but Paititi owes much of his safety to them.
They protect it.
I don't know if that's their intention, but their actions have that effect.
They don't ever attack the city.
No. We have always lived in cooperation. I think Amado might be planning a public sacrifice.
Of a rebel. We have to stop it.
No, not unprepared. And not at the expense of others. The warrior who prepared the sacrifice will prefer death. Stay near me and do as I do. The crowd could turn on us. This way.
Jonah, we're close to the Emperor's tomb.
We're by the river, ready to get you and Unuratu out of there. Let me know when you're ready.
That looks like my way in.
Lara, where are you?
The Emperor's tomb. I almost have what we need.
We'll be ready.
Someone is keeping these fires burning. This figure must be loved. This altar is elaborate. This must have been an important ruler.
Right then, time for some fighting. So, you can do this next section, dividing and conquering, and executing from stealth, from the walls and things. I'm going to move into the back corner and shoot everybody in the face. I do this way because I find it to be objectively the best way to do it. Not only is it safe, but it's easier, because the enemies are quite alert and they move around a lot and there's a decent amount of them. So isolating them all to stealth can take at least about 5 to 7 minutes, depending on how you're doing it. So instead, I'm just going to take these guys on. I get hit once by the Aztec sword, but other than that, I'm never really in any kind of danger. And the only reason I get hit is because I wanted to mess around with the bow a little bit, which is always a mistake for me, because whenever I put the bow on, I don't use it correctly. It's kind of sad, actually. The bow is one of the strongest weapons in this game, and I don't give it justice. But you notice I'm using the toxin of the creatures that you can get to make arrows that knock people out. Do not use these arrows in this fight, guys. There's no point. You want to save them for later on, when you're doing the sequences where you can turn the soldiers against each other with the hallucinatory arrow. Watch this. Did you fucking see that? I love this game, dude. I truly do. Shoot a guy point blank range with a shotgun. 0 reaction. What a fun game this is. But put your rifle on and headshot. When you shoot them in the head, they will back away and they will reset so you can shoot them in the head again. If you do it in the right way, you can do it like that, where you just kill them effortlessly. And then make sure you check your right hand side, because once, on my first playthrough, I got snuck up on by a guy who had a bow, and then he alerted me by making noise and I killed him. But on this run, nobody comes the right path. And then all you need to do is finish off the guys, and you're done. And it's been really simple, right? So once again, this game could be really challenging and the difficulty could be really challenging, but that's not what they were going for. They were going for lazy, they were going for simple, they were going for not very fun. Hit the helmet, knock it off, then shoot him in the face. He's still alive, by the way. The enemies have a tendency to try flanking you as well, but not flanking in the way you'd think. They just kind of sidestep until they get to a section where they can have a clear line of sight. It's really predictable, and it's one of the ways that you can get some free cheeky headshots. But once you've done it, and you heal if you took damage, which will tell you that there's nobody left, you want to go back around the area and loot everybody. When you loot these soldiers, they generally give you about 100 coins, they replenish your ammo and everything like that, and it's just going to help it and make it easier for you to buy things the next time you're in a village. But I'm going to jump ahead again, guys, to when we have to do something with Lara, and I'll see you on the flip side.
Impossible. I can't carry anymore.
Right then, this is the Downpour section, where Lara gets to prove that even equipped with just a knife, she's still more capable and more of a psychopath than paid psychopaths with military-grade weapons. So, don't overthink that too much, because it doesn't make any sense, and make sure you cover yourself in mud, because it makes you harder to see. You do not have a checkpoint either, guys. You have to go through 2 stealth sections before the end, and the only reason these are even remotely intimidating is because you're too busy thinking about what happens if I fail. And what you're going to do here is just the same things you've done in all of these moments. You're going to isolate and conquer, and then you're going to use a smoke grenade at the end to get past the last 2 guys, and then you're going to get to the next section and it's going to be fine. These are not difficult stealth sections, guys. The only thing that's betraying you is the chemistry in your body. And you might have nerves of steel. You might not even feel it. I didn't feel much of this game. The only part of the game I really wanted a checkpoint after was probably the last section, just because I couldn't remember where the next bonfire was. But this guy here to the left, he moves around a lot, and it seems like when you push up forward, so does he. And I don't really know what his pattern is about, because he stays really close to this bit that I'm on right now when you're over the other side, but the moment you move, he does too. So it's like he intentionally is scripted to just always be outside of your reach. It doesn't matter though, because what I'm going to do, it takes me a little while though, guys, because I don't want to fail, so I'm being very patient, is I'm going to go to the bushes where he stood next to now. I'm going to pick up those blue containers that make smoke grenades. I'm going to throw a smoke grenade to stun all 3 of them, and then I'm going to climb the wall behind them. This game does something that I really appreciate, and that is you can still interact with things even when you're technically in a combat environment. In some games, that wall would not even be an interactable until you killed everyone, because that's just what they've programmed. But in this game, they allow you to do it, and I'm very grateful for that. It's one of the few things I like about this game. So, touche on whoever thought that was how that should work. But just look at this. Like, you never see me sit in a bush like this for a good 15 minutes just thinking about what I'm going to do. That's how it makes you second guess yourself. And that must be what people like when they do these kind of challenges. They must like the idea of having to commit to something and the mistakes being high risk and high reward. Whereas I don't have that in me. Maybe that's why I'm not a gambler. To me, I don't even see the point in gambling. I find it boring. Because you lose more than you ever win, and if you did win, you're probably that type of person that just puts it all back in, right? And then you end up losing anyway. There's a very good reason they say the house always wins, and that's just, clearly because Gregory House is a beast. But now that he's moved away, we can move to the box. Do it, Chris, you coward. Look at me. Look at this. Rare footage in one of my walkthroughs of me abjectly hating my life. And this has happened before, guys. You can see it a few different walkthroughs where I really don't want to fuck up, so I'm being as cowardly as possible. But if you wonder what I was doing just then, I was looking to make sure I didn't miss any secret Molotovs or anything like that. There's a section coming up after the church in the second to last level where I was looking for a Molotov and didn't find one, got into a firefight, killed everybody, and then found a Molotov a second after the firefight. And it would have ended it all effortlessly, but I didn't know where it was. So that was really frustrating. Come on, Chris. Smoke grenade. Like, a lot of this right now, guys, is inexperience with the game. I don't know that the smoke grenades are as good as they are, and I don't want to be wrong, so I'm tying in my mind, do I try this and then try recovering, or do I procrastinate? And procrastination oftentimes works, but I've got it in my blood right there. I've convinced myself to go for it, and it works. And it works effortlessly, and I could have saved myself a few minutes. So do not even hesitate, guys. The moment you kill that one dude, go behind there, pick up that bottle, gas those people, and then get to the end. You'll have no problems whatsoever. But once again, your brain's going to tell you you've got to be careful because you only get one shot at this, and that's the problem. That's the real aspect of this difficulty. But kill him, and then these 2 guys are going to talk, and then after that you want to jump across there and climb into the bushes. I think this bit of river exists so that you could do some river tactics, or it might exist to get rid of the mud on you for the sequence coming up. I'm not entirely certain, but I wait for him to turn around before I jump across. One thing you'll notice is that I don't know if it's just because Lara is such a gifted walking death machine, or if the enemies have all got cataracts, but there's times when they really should see you and they don't. And it's super useful for us because we're trying to win. But it's not so useful for the game trying to be demanding and taxing on us. But there's this guy here, and then there's a couple of guys to our right who we have to clip. And the guys to our right are really easy to kill with distractions, so don't worry about those. It is really funny though. I think my favourite part of this game is where Lara gets a half a torso on her, half a dead body on her, and she has this massive reaction of how she's nearly going to be sick, and then she spends the rest of the game looking in the eyes of people as they slowly die from the knife she's jutted into their neck while she's being doused in their claret. Like, it's so disconnected, it's hilarious. Like, one body gets on her and she's like, "Oh, this is disgusting, I'm going to be sick, this is so horrendous, oh, the willful lack of life and the transience of mortality," and then the next moment, stab, 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 now your family doesn't have a dad. Like, that's the game. It's so dumb. I love it. It's so stupid. There's even a section where she's surrounded by fire looking like the goddamn embodiment of chaos itself, and then they give her a light machine gun to go and make a bunch more orphans. It's amazing. Because you know these PMC guys don't use rubber johnnies. These guys are just freestyling. They ain't double bagging. All we're doing is ruining families. And I love it because they want you to care for Lara. They want you to see her vulnerability and all this bollocks that just doesn't exist. And then you read these reviews talking about how the characters were so touching and they were so emotional and how they resonated with them. And it's like, who the fuck are you, Jack the Ripper? Like, how do you emotionally resonate with a woman who is a walking plague? She's a fucking famine. Lara Croft is the destroyer of worlds. What are you empathizing with? The fucking funeral caretaker guy who's getting all the money off the corpses? Like, I don't get this. Are you resonating with the vultures that get a really good meal tonight? This game, man. 10 out of 10 IGN. But this is your checkpoint, so don't mess up the platforming. And you'll notice I am shitting it right now because I don't want to mess this jump up. The moment I saw this jump, I winced. Because the stealth I can control. Jumps, I can't. And for some reason the game decided to work, so I didn't die. But complete this climbing. Don't fall, guys. Please don't fall. You owe it to yourself not to fall. You'll probably fall, but good luck.
4 shock damage in Juliet 3. A rock sled took out the military pumping platform. No fires. Fallen trees have completely blocked the access road to Kilo 2.